So I wanted to do as promised and show what I think is a way that the search engines, particularly Google, how they do the sort of instant search as you're typing something in. Things come up automatically as you're going along based on popular searches, or maybe if you type something in there before, it remembers it. Whatever it is, I'll show you how that it looks to me like they're purposely trying to hide certain topics. I don't know why or how specifically they would choose a particular topic, but in general it seems that they're politically related, government related, things like that. Hiding information about questionable actions by government officials, including officials from other places around the world, and not just American officials or specifically related to our president. Which brings me to something I want to quickly address. The last video, I grabbed my camera, as you can see right here. I grabbed this camera right here. Right now it's pointing at the same screen that I was pointing at when I grabbed it the other day. I've actually had this set up and I didn't use it. I got kind of caught off guard with the what I perceive to be them Facebook trying to hide the fact that there's a move to possibly impeach President Obama over his abuse of military use and ignoring Congress, and all those things are tied together. I'm not going to go through it. I'm sure you already know. If you don't, you need to go look it up based on the information in the videos and the stuff here, and then you make a judgment for yourself. But I wanted to address some of the comments that were in that video because people pointed out that it was possible that it was simply a matter of HTML handling things or something like that. Well, okay, I'll give it that as a coding thing. I do some coding, so I understand that. I'll give that there's a difference in the way that link was being handled, but the difference in handling it is Facebook handling it. Now, they may have their own reasons for it, whatever. I just caught it at this time in relation to this, and it was followed up by the fact that when I tried to post a link to the link, it suddenly popped up a security check. I've entered my phone number and all that stuff. You can visit on my page there and see. My information is up there for them to have verified that I'm supposedly a real person. I'm really posting things, so there's no need for them to question the content. And we're going to look at all of that right now. Let's take a look at the screen here, and we'll start. And then I'm going to address the search engine thing as promised. I just want to deal with this issue with the Obama Facebook cover-up here. So what I did is I was talking to somebody on Facebook, and they had a link, and obviously this information about Congress going to impeach Obama is actually up there. And so this is the video that I posted about what we're going to talk about. And I'm over here, I posted it in a bunch of different places. But I found the link to the information on this page, and it's on Blogspot. And this is the link to the link. Okay, here's the link right here, and we'll go to it, but watch, let's see if it's still doing it. Mind you, this has been a day or so now. We'll see. I'll put the link in here, or I won't. I didn't copy it. Where'd you go? Copy. Paste. I Control-V'd it. So it's the same thing. It lists it. Whatever, that's fine. Are you going to ask me? No, okay, so it got over whatever fit it was that it was trying to do the other night. So that's not an issue anymore. So it's not trying to block the link to the link. That I could show you. You can see it on the other video. It was actually doing it, and it did it to me multiple times. And there's actually responses in the video, or in the video links that I posted on Facebook to friends and people that posted after me about it. There was responses in some of those that I glanced over that other people had experienced the same thing too. So it's not like I'm the only person that this happened to. Alright, so back to the page, or back to the link. So here's the link. If you just open it in a new window, it obviously is interpreted properly because here is what we're looking for. HCon Res 107 IH, and it's talking about the use of offensive military force by a president without prior and clear authorization of an act of Congress constitutes an impeachable high ... And so somewhere it says that whole thing in here, and there's more to it. But obviously you get the point. And this is brand new. This thing just came up March 7, 2012. And so I was reading about this, and I got the link, and I wanted to copy it and paste it, and I wanted to share it too. And so I tried to share it, and I came up here, and I pasted it in here. And look, it says right here that this link is fine, but it's obviously changed here. Even though it's truncated, you can't see it. I'm going to try, let's see. Let's go to copied address and see. Oh, it's going to make me leave. Sorry. I thought it would open in a new window. Well, so we're going to find out anyway when I post it whether or not it takes us again to that blank page, because we're going to click on it and we're going to find out. So we'll do it. We'll click on it. The link is the same. Obviously, it's understood in the browser. If you want, I can go up here. I am a developer. I build websites. I have Safari, Opera, Firefox, all right here, as well as Internet Explorer. We can try it. I'm sure that the link works just as well in any one of those as it would, as it just did in Internet Explorer for us. Paste it in. Boom. Yeah, so it takes it. So it's not that the browser is misinterpreting anything. That's not the problem. I'm not copying the link wrong. I opened up Notepad just so we could paste it down here. You can see this is the raw text. This is the understood computer level, and then it goes through its binary processes at the processor level. But at this level where we can read it and the computer understands it, this is its base understanding of the text that's being copied and pasted, so there's no question what's going on. It is a misinterpretation right here, and I get this is standard code, HTML code, to reference a colon in this case is what it is. If we look again at the link, I'll paste them both on the same page. You see it's a colon where it breaks down 112, 112, and then it starts to go in the HTML code, and so it breaks down there. Here's my problem with that whole thing, and then I'll get off of this and we'll go to the search engine thing. There's no reason for it. There's obviously no reason for it. It should be just a straightforward link. There's no reason for Facebook to have messed with it in the first place. So that's my argument, and that'll be the last that I say about it. So on to this thing about the search engines. I pulled up some searches here just so that we could kind of wrap up this entire whole argument about whether or not search engines, YouTube, whatever it is, Facebook, if they censor stuff. So what I did is I pulled up Start Page here, Xquick, overseas, but Start Page, they supposedly don't keep your IP address. It's just my default browser. When I type in my empty search page, when you watch, I pull up a internet browser. It just opens up blank. I have a blank page. There's nobody tracks where I make my first move for whatever reason. I'm not trying to hide it. It's just none of their damn business, okay? So I'm not doing it. It's just going to a blank page. And my default search engine is Start Page, so I just typed it in the address bar and it came up with these. Facebook censors posts, the most logical thing that they would censor in general. You could go specifically video, whatever, but you'll see on these other searches that I've already used that. And just to kind of wrap up this whole argument about whether they do, obviously I'm not the only person that thinks this stuff, because you can look along here and see, aside from the innocuous stuff, the obvious, what you would expect to get, is it, what's going on. There's some specific things like the Occupy movement, and you'll get your usual suspects as far as theory stuff, conspiracy theory stuff. And we'll look at some of the other ones like Google. Google's great for it because it has CIA ties and background, pretty much paid for by the CIA. And so, of course, look, yeah, see, here's RT News, and, that's the Russian Times, and that's basically Russian propaganda. It's like behind enemy lines propaganda that you see in the movies that Americans pump in behind enemy lines. Well, welcome to behind enemy lines, America. RT is that propaganda coming in, except that it's pretty well true. They do a good job of covering their bases when they follow a story. Who else is up here? Disinfo.com. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see some. This was a Google one. Google censors news. That's the video portion of Google is obviously YouTube, so we'll get to that. It was one I did. YouTube censors video, and while my other video is hot, that's not up here because I didn't use YouTube. And so they even have some of their links to videos inside YouTube, how to censor a video, censorship of YouTube, natural news, of course, Mike Adams, InfoWars, Alex Jones, Inquirer. Oh no, that's real filthy press right there. You gotta watch out for that stuff. So the usual suspects. Obviously, I'm not the only person that thinks they censor stuff. But now let's get down to the meat and potatoes and really talk about what this is what brought me to this. And I searched this out before, and I still had the video, but I didn't like it. I did it with the camera in my hand again as before, and sometimes it tracks off when I'm looking at the page and not looking at what the camera's looking at, so you don't, you know what's going on, but I want everybody to see, and so that's why I set it up on the tripod here this time. And so we're going to take a look. Let's just start page. It's Google results. It's right there, enhanced by Google, so I'm not making anything up. That's what they do. And let's type in, this is what brought me to it and got me to just look. I just did it. It was the same thing as the other night. I saw it. I shot the camera. But let's do it together and see what we come up with, and we can see if we can all decide on why it does this. Maybe we'll figure it out now. If not, maybe somebody in the posts will. All right, so let's type in somebody we all know, Gingrich, pornography. Okay, look, the guy's been in he's been in politics for how long, and he's sort of a right-wing religious guy. How can he have not made comments on pornography before? Gingrich. Pornography. Nothing. Newt Gingrich. And that is how you spell his name. So it's not me. I didn't make it up. Nothing shows up. Alright, so let's go to Google. Let me just pull up this one that was Google, but let's go to Google. That's too many O's. Google.com. Looks familiar to everybody. Let's do the search. Gingrich. See, it's already gone. Pornography. Now look. It looks like there's no search results, right? Is that what I'm getting here? Let's go back. It's not frozen. There's nothing going on. It's putting the results in. Pornography. Okay, so it's giving you the impression, the average person, that there's no search results. But let's click on it. Aha, look. Oh, look at that. Ban. Romney, Santorum, and Gingrich promised to ban pornography. And that's probably what got me to do it, because it's been a month or so ago that I shot the video, maybe a little longer than that, something like that. And so that's probably what brought me to the search anyway. So you saw what just happened right there. It looked like there was no results if you were going to search for the terms Gingrich and pornography together. Now, I don't know why that happens, but it seems to me that there's a pretty obvious reason why that happens. Let's try some innocuous term with Gingrich. What would he not have talked about? I mean, the guy's run his mouth for 30 friggin' years. He's probably said everything any idiot can possibly say in offense of anyone else on the planet. But let's see what he says. Gingrich. What comes up? Wife. Oh, yeah, the wife and the whole divorce and all that. Let's see what that says. Gingrich divorce So it's not hiding it because that's something that's common knowledge. Everybody knows about it. So they can't even hide it. It would be stupid of them to try. Let's look at this again. Porn. As soon as I do porn, it disappears. So you can't even... Gingrich Porky Pig, I can see that. Yeah, I don't... Portfolio, that's the closest you get. As soon as you go porn, it's just gone. So don't tell me that I'm imagining or that it's some kind of tinfoil hat conspiracy that these sites go out of their way to actually try and hide the information. I think that, at least Google... Oh, let's try one of the other ones real quick. And then we'll wrap this up because I've had my say. Try one of the other. What's AOL? It's somebody, or who, like Yahoo? Is that the other really big one? I don't know. I don't use either of these really. Yahoo.com. Let's try that. All right, that looks like what I expected. Let's search the web. And does it do that? Does it? Oh, we're not doing Newt though. We're doing Gingrich. Yeah, so you can see it's doing exactly the same thing, and I'm sure if it'll produce the results exactly the same too. So I'm done with it. My conclusion would be that they don't need to do it. There's no reason for it. Somebody mentioned something about security, and I don't see necessarily how passing HTML through the address bar and through links is pretty standard. So I'm not sure where he was going with that. He didn't elaborate. He instead wanted to make insults. But my final conclusion on the whole thing would ultimately be that there's no reason for them to do it. And in regard to the search engine thing, it's obvious that they're doing it. In this instance, it's probably regarding the pornography as opposed to specifically being about Newt Gingrich. I didn't check to see that. I don't really care. It's obvious that they have the technology and that they can and do use it. And my argument would be that the default should be nothing is filtered out.